If you're looking for a way to be able to turn content to more clients, you are going to love this segment. In fact, we're going to share with you over 100 different ways that you can be able to do that. And we're going to introduce you to a marketing calendar methodology to help simplify all this. Why? Wouldn't it help to have a roadmap? Wouldn't it help to have a way to kind of navigate and organize all of this stuff that can get complex when you don't have a roadmap? So that's what we're going to cover today. Now, why is this important? Well, let's face it, there's a lot of people today that are confused about marketing. Their marketing isn't working. Or maybe you, like a lot of us, have heard, to be successful in marketing, you got to be doing like 40, 50, 60 manual posts a day. And how's that working for most people? Number one, it's not working for most people, especially small businesses. And separately, it's a lot of extra work. And what if we could show you different ways where you can take a series of things, put them in place, and literally for $1 to $3 a day, you could have one video that gets you 1 million views and do that at $1 to $3 a day or so. We'll show you exactly what we're talking about. Plus, introduce you to over 75 different methods. Let me ask you, would you invest $1 if you could get $3 or $10 or more every single time you put the money in the slot machine? Well, guess what? We're going to talk about that today. In fact, we're going to introduce you to over 75 unique strategies you can put in place as quick as we can through this process. We're going to introduce you to 2 methods to get traffic, the blank and the blank approach. We're going to show you calendar examples so that you can simplify all this, so you can have your own customized roadmap, and then we'll share with you tools that you can use. Now, if you're new to our world, we are famous for our unique methodology called direct response branding, where essentially we take direct response marketing that's responsible, measurable, and creates an ROI, and combine it with branding, which is about identity and reputation, and we bring the two together, and it's like a tide that lifts all boats. In our unique model, we have 5 core steps. Now, we're not going to cover the specific 5 steps, especially if you've seen us before. What we are going to do is cover the elements we talked about, turning content to clients, and also over 75 different ways. But if you are new, I want to just give you a quick review of our model, because every successful business we've studied and or worked with over the last 30 years, we found had these 5 things in place. Miss any one of these elements and the results suffer a lot. Many times it can even lead to going out of business, which who wants that, right? So number 1, vision and growth plan. Number 2, connection campaigns. Being a human being in business is important today, and it's going to become more important, especially with AI and all kinds of the other technologies that are available, are going to become more available as we go. 3, lead machines. How great would it be if you had a steady flow of leads coming in every single day, right? Easier said than done. We're going to talk about that and how you can do that too. Step 4, education-based conversion events. The biggest brands in the world, Nike, Disney, the NFL, I mean, the list goes on and on. They are using education-based conversions event, but most of us, maybe you included, have not been taught how to use these things effectively to speed up trust, respect, and also lead to content that creates conversions. We're going to introduce you to some of those today. Number 5 is going deep. Hey, when you got something that's working, go deep. Now, here's the truth of the matter. Let me speak to the elephant in the room. Lots of people are looking for the giant cannonball, the one thing that's going to blow the wall off the castle, so to speak. Instead, we're talking about putting together a series of bullets that ultimately become powerful to help you grow and scale your business. Now, what will this method that we're talking about today with your content as well as a marketing calendar to simplify everything do? It's going to give you a predictable, systematic approach to this so you can get out of the day-to-day. A marketing calendar is your secret weapon. And I'll show you why in just a little bit even further. So we're going to show you how to use a marketing calendar to get clients daily. But before we do, let's go into all the different ways you can go out there and market that many times people, they're hidden in plain sight, and or we're just going to walk you around the corner. Would that be all right if I walk you around the corner to show you what some of the top most successful companies are doing? So the first thing I want to introduce you to is this marketing checklist that is literally over 45 ways right here. And then what we did is we recently held a live business intensive with some people in Orlando, Florida. And what ended up happening is we ended up taking this list and expanding it. And so we came up between the multiple lists, probably over 75, 80. Now, here's the truth. We don't have time to go into all of these different methods, but I want to give you a snapshot of some of the critical few that could help you. Would that be all right? The critical few that will help you. So let's start with getting the basic methodologies for marketing and advertising out of the way. So number 1, method to advertise. You pay to play. Now, there's all kinds of ways this takes shape, it takes form, pay to play. So, and if these terms don't mean anything to you, no big deal whatsoever. I just want to make you aware of them. And potentially, if there's something here that connects with you, you'd like us to show you how to put these in place and execute and implement, reach out to us, we can show you how. So, number one is pay to play. And then there's several different categories, like per inquiry. Do you know that you can go on radio, for example, or TV and other platforms? You could do a joint webinar or training with somebody, and basically for every person that inquires, you would pay out for that person. Now, why would you do that? Well, you would know your numbers through your model, your business model, to know that it would be worth it. That's number one. Number two is per placement. So lots of the platforms today, you put X dollars in and they're placing. It's called cost per thousands as far as the placements goes. Then there's cost per lead. So maybe you've got a free checklist. You might create a partnership with somebody and say, hey, you mail for me to this and I'll pay you X dollars per lead that gets generated, right? Whether they become a client or not. That's one way to do it, as a lead option, which is a really powerful option because most people are too cheap and too lazy to do that approach, and it becomes valuable. Another one is per application. Now, this applies to a lot. We've worked with companies in over 180 different industries all over the globe, and many people want more appointments or qualified leads, qualified applications. And so this can become powerful where you partner with somebody. Maybe it's a landscaping company if you're a HVAC company and they have a list, you have a list, and what you could do is say, hey, I'll pay you $50 for a lead or an application, or someone who books an appointment with us. How great would that be? And now what you're doing is helping each other be a tide that lifts all boats. Hybrid of any of these, right? Which kind of ties into the overarching one, which is called cost per action. You pay per action, but these are several buckets that you can work with. Number two category here is non-paid. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but non-paid is pretty simple to understand, right? So you're not paying to have that opportunity, right? You might be a guest expert on something. You might get invited to a local TV show where they have you on because you're an expert, or you're writing articles in different places, or all of these things, or you're creating your own content on your own platform for the time being until such time that you're able to leverage other things. So I'm going to introduce you to this marketing maximizer tool set with over 45. Now, again, we're not going to go through all of these right now, but I want to introduce you to a couple at least, because again, hidden in plain sight that literally can be needle movers for you to help you grow. Is that all right if we help you get more appointments, more leads, more clients daily? This is a tool to be able to do that. So the first one up here that a lot of people miss, again, if you think of business as relationships and not transactions, if you think of business as you're a human being, they're a human being, and not some robot, not some automated transaction, it starts to shift how you look at marketing. Marketing isn't what you do to people to get them to become clients, it's what you do for them. So I hope you'll write that down. Marketing is what you do for potential clients and clients, or for people. Marketing is what you do for them done correctly. That's what direct response branding is really all about. To be able to lead to leading more leads, more appointments, more clients every single day. So this first one is thank you notes and cards. See, think about the last time you bought something on any place, big platform, small platform, big company, giant company, small company. Did you get a physical card in the mail? How would it impact you if you did? And then how do you think it would impact your clients or prospects or candidates if you did? It's huge, because you become memorable just like that. So something so simple can be done you can automate it, a lot of this as well, with a lot of different platforms. And by the way, if you're looking at like, how do I tie this in? Again, at the end of this, in a few minutes, we'll share with you how you can reach out to us to have us help you execute and implement and or get access to a series of tools we're making available too. So that's number one. Number two here are strategic partnerships. So many people miss the boat on this. They think it's one way or the other, meaning paid media or non-paid, which we talked about those two ways already, right? So you combine them. It's not an either or, it's an and. So who are people in your business who share your customer, right? In your industry, who shares your customer? And then what could you do to create a strategic partnership? We've done this with magazines. We've done this with radio. We've done this with small businesses, complementary businesses that weren't ours. We went to them and did trade for this business, for that business, and we didn't have any involvement with either of them. But it was about coming up with a strategic way to go about to get more appointments, get more leads, get more clients every single day. So number three are sponsorships, right? Now, sponsorships is a paid to play model typically, but sometimes you can also get trade for that. And also there's trade assignment. Literally every day, 365 days around the world, there are trade associations or trade shows or expos in your niche, in your industries that are happening where your perfect clients are hanging out. And if you're there, knowing how to leverage it properly, you have the ability to get more appointments, leads, and clients from qualified people. Number 4, phone calls. Oh my gosh, this is so, like, we can double most businesses by as simple as adding a phone call method into their business. Why? Because so few people actually know how to use the phone to actually make it a profit center. Most of the time they turn it into a cost center because all they're doing is reactionary customer service instead of proactive, being able to go out, serve, to make an invitation to move forward on something. And so when you get this right, phone calls literally can double most businesses in a very short period of time. And also, depending on the business you're in, if you're not doing any phone calls, a simple way to, again, be memorable. We talked about thank you cards. We've talked about some of these other, but a second one is to do a phone call. Let me give you a couple stats here. 90% of the phone calls you will make outgoing to someone that's a prospect or a client are going to go to voicemail. That's a fact. So what happens when you get a voicemail? You listen to it later or read the thing, right? So guess what? If you leave a captivating message related to your business as a follow-up, right? It's an I love you call. Follow up, and oh, by the way, I've got something for you. Call me back. What do? You're turning outbound calls into inbound opportunities, which is a whole different psychology. And you put yourself in a stronger position as the business, as the authority. Anyway, so that's a little thing, but it's a big thing. And phone calls are an amazing way to be able to do that. Number 5 is using video in your email follow-up, whether it's automated or not, personal or not, and or using it in text messaging. If you use video a little bit more often, now there's ways to do it, and again, we don't have time to go in and break down every single way to go about it. Again, if you need some support on this or you want us to help execute or implement some of this stuff, we can just do it for you. But you can go research and do this and figure it out. But video in your emails, video in text can change the game, right? And it doesn't mean that the video is actually playing in the email, although there are platforms that allow you to do that. Another way to be able to do it is you put an image of the video, and the video is driving to an external page that you've set up. Pretty simple. Don't overcomplicate it. But video or the image in the text and thing to then bring context to it in multiple dimensions with video makes a big, big difference. So that's number 5 that we've just gone through, these first 5 through this process, and there's another 45. So for the sake of time, we're not going to cover all of these, but I do want to call out a couple other small little things. Email campaigns. Think of your email campaigns not as, like one-offs, like I'm doing one email. Because here's a fact about email. Email campaigns, which is this one here, down in the far right corner, email campaigns, what are your open rates for emails if you're sending out a fair amount? Well, here's the industry statistics, between 15 and 25%. Now, yours might be higher, God bless you. It might be lower, oh, bummer. Or somewhere in the middle, which is the range, right? For large scale emails, not one-to-one, not a hyper-focused list that you just got started within a few days. This is, a list that's been built up over time, right? So 15 to 25%. So that being the case, if you send one email to 1,000 people, what's the total possible opportunity? If the highest is 25%, it's about 250 people. But it doesn't stop there, because that's the open rate. And then the click rates on average right now are between 1 and about 3%. So it's 1 of 250, 1% of 250. What is that? Well, that's 1% is 2.5. So you're going to get 2.5 clicks. Let's say it's as high as 10%. That'd be 25, right? It's pretty simple math that we're going through here. So is it any wonder, if you're doing email one by one this way, that you're not really penetrating or seeing big results? Well, here's a way to shift it. Instead of an email, think of it as an email campaign or an email promotion. What is that? Well, let's look at it this way. And this is a theoretical example. It isn't going to work exactly this way, but let's just say you've got a list of 1,000 and your open rates are 25% on average. How many emails will it take at 25% open rate to have the potential to get up to 100%? Well, it'd be roughly 4 to 5 emails, right? Now, the technology today allows you to take people out who've obviously hit it or clicked it or registered for whatever you're offering, your offer and your invitation, so you can segment them so they don't feel like you're not listening or paying attention, right? However, if you want to increase your sales, increase your momentum, increase in a cool way. You can do this in a non-salesy, non-hypey way that's effectively create email promotions or email campaigns that are not one email, but a series of them. What does Netflix do? They typically have episodes. Think of your emails like episodes of a campaign driving to the thing you're promoting. But don't rely on one, because if you are, just depending on how big or small you are, those numbers scale accordingly. Now, if you have a list of a few million people, well, you can probably get away with it. But if your business has less than, say, 50,000 emails on it, you might be well served to test what we're talking about here as well. Another strategy is to focus on monthly newsletters by mail, physical mail sending out. You'd be amazed at, again, memorable. How do you stand out? How do you become memorable? How do you become what's considered the definitive? Now, literally for about $1 a mailing for a sophisticated one, or you could create a postcard and drive it to an online PDF for 50 cents. So for 50 cents to $1, would it be worth it for your most valuable relationships to be sending them stuff once a month or so? You have to decide, because what's the value of a client for you? If a client's worth even $500 or $1,000 or $100,000 over a period of time, depending on the service or the product or whatever you do, that starts to add up. Because think of your competition. Are they sending physical mail, most of them? Probably not. They're too lazy, too cheap to do it. So guess what? You can put yourself in a nice toll booth position. And then lastly, I want to call out this one, because we see this happen a lot of times. In our work with private clients, some people get, oh, I need a new website. I need a new website. I need a new website. And our belief is, yes, you might need a new website. More importantly, though, you need a mechanism to get appointments, leads, and clients daily. So instead of thinking in terms of sites, we think in terms of pages, like a lead generation page or an offer page model. Why? Because it's a shorter path to be able to get you more new leads, appointments, and clients. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about building out your marketing assets, whether you work with someone like us or somebody else or on your own, whatever the case might be. Now, that's a lot to take in such a short period of time. We only covered about 8 or 9 of these in short order. So I want to just introduce you quickly to a couple of the ones when we went through our intensive together, some more ways that you could be thinking about how to market, like educational-based videos. If you're someone who likes to do video, you can put videos out, almost like this one. Or if you don't like doing videos, you can have someone else do it. Another version of that, technology today allows you to turn text to video pretty effectively and in a pretty cool way. We've got podcasts. Now, I hear a lot of people go, I'm going to start my own podcast. And I am a huge advocate. We have our podcast that has gotten, I don't know, hundreds, maybe millions of downloads and listens over the years on our different content and on YouTube and in other places. But let me talk about if you're newer and you don't have a podcast yet, what I would say, it's an and. Consider doing your podcast and make sure you're getting on other people's podcasts, because that's a shorter path to more appointments, leads, and clients, if that's what you want. And that's a shorter path to turn real content that you can put out there quickly and easily and effectively, and have the ability to be able to turn that to clients as well. So podcast on others, client reviews, posting client reviews on your sites, on your pages, in your emails, etc. It becomes very valuable. Case studies, success stories of your client. Things, if someone came to me and said, hey, Dan, what are the best platforms to use right now for content for video? At the time we're recording this session, I would say Instagram, I would say YouTube Reels. So Instagram Reels, YouTube Reels, and TikTok Reels would be a place where you're going to usually get, it's a little hinge that can swing a big door, right? Where there are other platforms that are a little bit outdated. You do a video and you might get like 3 likes, 2 likes, 1 like. It can leave you a sense of like no value when that happens, because there's very minimal engagement, or the platforms are throttling the engagement. But right now, at the time we're recording this, you can still get good momentum in those other platforms. Then of course there's other things: radio, TV, newspapers, magazines. Oh, and then there's even more, right? Now, we've got virtual things that you can do. So you can do some of these physically. We also came up with a list of virtual ones, like challenges, being a guest expert on a virtual challenge, or hosting your own summits, having a YouTube channel, and or doing YouTube lives, doing Facebook lives. Again, I'm just going through, or a hybrid of any one of the. Again, you can ideally see the sheet here, and you can take a picture of it and start to add this to your arsenal. Oh, and then we came up with even more. So things like local stages, right? There's local associations. You can literally do a search in your city and find the associations related to your industry and niches, or in your city, or in your state, or in your region. I mean, the sky's the limit. If you took the time to do this and reach out and be valuable, there's no limit to traffic. There's no limit to opportunity for you, me, or anybody else. Masterminds, seminars, webinars, and a whole lot more. So ideally, you start, like, if you add all of these up, it's somewhere near 70 to 75 different ways that you can market your business. this. Now, you hear all that. What can happen? It can be leading to overwhelm because you want to try it all. All of these ideas sound great, right? But you need a new idea like you need a hole in your head. What do we need? Implementation and execution. And so this next phase I'm going to share with you is going to show you how to take all of this and really simplify it. You know, Oliver Wendell Holmes is famous for a quote. He said, "I wouldn't give a fig to be on the other side of complexity. I'd give my life, though, to be on this side of simplicity." I want to help you get on this side of simplicity by sharing with you an example of a marketing calendar blueprint. Now, we build these for our clients when we work with our clients in our process. We help them put this in place. We give them a roadmap and we just do it for them. Like we outline what we're going to do and then we just do it. And work, you know, it's a 50-50 collaboration, but our team is the execution team. Now, you may have access to be able to do something like that. You may not. Either way, what I would suggest to you is that you look at either pulling out a physical calendar or go on your online calendar. But don't leave your calendar blank. Almost 100% of the clients we've worked with over the years, when we say, hey, do you have some kind of marketing calendar of what you've been doing the last 6 months, the last 12 months, the last 18? The answer is no. That doesn't leave a good ability for clarity, confidence, direction, systematizing, right? So this is one of these simple tools that sometimes people go, oh, I've ever heard of that. But it's like the Loch Ness Monster. You hear about it, but you don't see it in action. Let's put it in action. And it can change the game for you, especially when you look back on what's worked, what's not, and have a roadmap of the successful things that are working. So I'm going to show you a snapshot here. This is an online version, again, that we create. It's a sample of one of our clients that I marked out some of their stuff so it wouldn't infringe. But when we started working with this client at the time of this recording in April, this is what we mapped out in our first month together, that we were going to, you know, like a text message here on the 3rd, if you see this, a partner webinar on the 4th, it was going to be done, an email on Saturday the 6th, email the 7th, and the text message on the 10th, save the date, direct mail, save the date, email, right? You're just changing context, email, online, offline, offline, email, right? Then there's email, then there's a text message, then there's a partner webinar. So we're using some of the things we actually just talked about, and not all of them. We're only using a handful, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these different things. The email on the 20th, then we got another email, text, email invite. Now, this series here from the 24th to the 27th that you see is a promotion we talked about, that email series. Why? We're promoting something for this client at that time, and we're not going to rely on sending one email to their list to announce this thing. We're sending a series of different story-based emails. We're incorporating text, and then if someone comes into the world, we've got confirmation emails going out and text reminders going out, right? And again, it's about building series of things, not the big giant cannonball one thing. It's a series of these little mini bullets, so to speak. So now we've got the follow-up after this particular promotion for the web, email 1, 2, and 3 to close out the month. So that might look like a lot if you're new, if you've never done this, if you've never mapped it out, but in reality, this is just a handful of things. But it does create a high yield. So small actions give you big results. Small actions give you giant results. Now, that's one step, showing it in the calendar. Then what we do is we itemize it and go, okay, here are the things that we're doing as a part of that. So if you remember back, I mentioned that you could take a video. Instead of doing 50, 60 manual posts a day, living on social media, you could take one video and get, you know, tens of thousands of views. So that we call those connection campaigns. If you remember back at our diagram, that's step 2 in the model. And you could do this on Facebook. You can do it on YouTube is what these two. So these are always going. Then we have them, in this case for the client, a marketing checklist going out. It's a lead campaign. It's running every day. We've got a case study campaign that's running every day. The evergreen training is running every day on Facebook and Google. Google Display, and there's also Facebook here for this client, where we're doing what's called remarketing, you know, a few bucks a day to take, you know, do you have people that come to your website? The answer is probably yes. If they come to their website or they come to a special offer you got, you can put messaging in front of them to follow them and to remind them. And, you know, literally for pennies on the dollar or a few bucks a day, you can literally do that and have a big impact, presence feel, but for, you know, small dollars, so to speak. And then lastly, and this is, or not lastly, but one of the last things you see here is SEO content, which SEO is frankly a lot more sophisticated than most people will be, you know, that most experts will lead you to believe. Most experts make it sound, oh, we're going to start writing content and then you're going to start seeing organic traffic next week. It's crazy. However, this particular client, and we also have an SEO team that does amazing work in our niches, and the SEO content is something that we build up so that content's going out almost every day of the week. In addition, on this checklist that's happening, that you see here for this particular example. There's emails weekly, Sundays, which you saw those mapped out. You probably didn't see it in there as we've grown through this very, very fast, is raise hand campaigns, which are an ability to move people forward. Video content. The video content is tied to the video connection campaigns, podcast, being on podcasts, other people's podcasts. Then we have content on deck for next month. So this calendar is projecting what else is coming next month beyond this. Raise hand campaign, a hiring campaign, a partner webinar, and we're going to send out some direct mail. So that's an April example. And then here's the May. Again, we're not going to spend a full time to go through this, but you start to see this is a new client, a little smaller amount in April. Now in this example for May, what we're seeing is this calendar almost every day is booked with something, right? That's the key. Almost every day. Because here's the thing. How many offers does Apple make every day? Hundreds, right? What if you started acting and behaving and running your business more like Apple, where you could with small budgets? Small budgets, big impact, right? The biggest problem is, like, if we think about, like, how many offers did we make this month? Like, if you only made 3 offers, right? 3 offers in a month. Well, guess what? The maximum number you can sell is ever what? 3 in most likelihood, unless there's referrals that come in, call it the back door or side door, right? But strategically, the maximum you would have is 3. So, like, what if you set up your model so that you could have invitations and offers every single day? And again, you can do this without being overly salesy. You can do it without being overly hypey. It's just setting it up. And imagine, what would having a blueprint like this do for you and your team? If you have a team member manage and oversee this and set it up and track what you're doing daily, wouldn't that help you get clarity, keep you out of the clouds or out of limbo, out of the dark, or out of the gap, right? Because without this, what does it do? It leads to confusion. It leads to guessing. It leads to, I don't know what's going on in my business, doesn't it? And we don't want to see that happen for you, which is why this strategy is such a critical needle mover. So I want to give you some action steps here to be able to take to help you get more content, to ultimately get you more clients, get you more leads, appointments, clients every single day, and help you simplify this process. So step 1 in this process is really simple. Plan the work, work the plan. You know, that old Allstate commercial says, you know, most people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. So put your plan together, get out a calendar, whether it's through us or through your own means or whatever. Get a calendar out. Then that leads to step 2. Identify the 1 to 7 key needle mover promotions or campaigns or strategies that you can implement and get in place right away. Wherever you're at, add 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 7. Keep it simple. Start adding little building blocks and start stacking those building blocks in your favor. And the beauty is you can customize it to your personal liking, your personal situation, your interests, and a whole lot more. Number 3, don't forget to lean on themes. What do I mean by lean on themes? Every month, every day, every week of the year, there's different themes that are going on that you can lean into for your business if you're creative. For example, in the last month, at the time we're doing this session, there was Mental Health Awareness Month. And then I believe this month is Small Business Month, right? And so what could you do to lean into the theme to meet your potential clients where they're at as it relates to your business, right? And you can literally go online and search all the different dates and events and different things like that for themes. And then that leads to the next step, which is make invitation, right? We hit on this a little bit already, but if you just simply make more invitations to move forward with, you make more invitations to, as an offer to do business with you more often, chances are you're going to see an increase in your results, unless you have terrible offers, which is a whole nother topic, another segment, another day overall. But make more offers, likely going to make more sales, get more appointments, get more new leads, get more new clients every single day. And if you want to go deeper with any of the strategies that we've been sharing with you, we've put together this recipe book, essentially 30 years of history of things we've been doing to help people like you do just that. In our book, Direct Response Branding, the new method to be the new model for exponential business growth. And if you'd like to grow exponentially and have a recipe book and a roadmap, one of the things that we love about this is that there's an index in the back. So if you want to look for email series or evergreen videos or evergreen webinars or education-based connection campaigns, the tips and strategies are right here. You can go right to the page number and use this. And ideally, this becomes a companion for life for you and for your business. And if you'd like to get your hands on this, book, then you can go, and the whole bundle package that comes with it, with a whole series of checklists and tools to help simplify your business. And I'll walk through a couple of those tools here in a second. But if you want to get this right here, right now, over $1,000 in bonus at 98% off, go to breakthrough3x.com/fast. That's breakthrough3x.com/fast. And when you get the program, when you get the bundle, we're going to give you not only the book, and you can get it digitally and physically, we're going to also give you access to the complimentary business growth training that goes with it by video. We're going to give you our marketing growth blueprint checklist. Why? Most businesses don't have a marketing plan laid out. We're going to help you get that installed. We're going to also give you our video conversion checklist, because video, like, think about it. Do you think that there's going to be more video over the next 5 years or less? It's going to be more. So do you want video that also converts potential people to clients? The answer is probably yes. So we're going to give you a tool that we've used and have been using, our clients have been using, to help get you more clients in your business. In addition, the Ultimate Business Growth CEO Checklist. You know, I don't know, have you been formally trained as a CEO or a founder? Probably not. And if not, then what would it be worth to have a checklist that literally keeps you on track for the year, for the quarter, for the month, for the week, for the day, you and your team, right? And give you an accountability map to be able to follow. So I've literally had a version of it. The newest one is, of course, updated, but I've had a version for 20 some years in building and growing my businesses and helping our clients. So in addition, the last key tool that we're going to give you access to is, because a lot of people we hear struggle to hire, either part-time people, full-time people, virtual people, in-house people, whatever. We're going to give you essentially a marketing system for hiring to simplify it. No more wasted interviews, no more, time drains where you're meeting with people for hours and hours a week and only to find out they're not a good fit. You can speed through all of that with this checklist and all the tools that support it. And last but not least, we're going to give you our one-to-one custom scaling situation. We'll identify where you are, where you want to go. We'll talk about, the 3 to 5 key things we would do if we were in your place to be able to take it to the next level, to be able to get exponential business growth, and give you that custom roadmap. If you're looking for all of that, you can get started right now by going to go to breakthrough3x.com/fast. That's breakthrough3x.com/fast. You'll get 98% off this toolkit and the bundle. You'll get the one-to-one custom scaling session to go with it as a bonus. And if you've been in our world for a minute, and maybe you're like, Dan, man, this is amazing. I've been following you on YouTube. I've been following your podcast. I've been following you for a minute, and I want to know how to implement. I want to know how to execute. I want to know how to turn things from theory to get them in place. Could you help me? If that's the case, then number one, I want to encourage you, if you haven't gotten this yet, get this bundle. It'll give you a great understanding of our psychology, our philosophy, how we do this, how we've helped companies, some of the biggest names and brands in the world, grow the way they have. And after you do that, if you want to jump over here and get to the front of the line, go to breakthrough3x.com/apply. And what will happen is we will schedule a one-to-one consultation with you as well. So all that being said, I encourage you, whether it's through us, whether it's through someone else, get your ultimate marketing blueprint calendar in place to help simplify what you do. The tools for use the marketing calendar blueprint tool. Use it, apply it, run your business monthly, daily, weekly, quarterly, and you can start to see how it's going to give you and your team greater clarity, greater confidence, greater direction, and a whole lot more. Plus, then start thinking, once you get the first 1 to 7 maximizers in place, add another 1 to 3 and another 1 to 3. And soon you'll start having people come to you going, golly, I see you everywhere. And you know what will happen? You will have done it by getting a positive ROI. A positive ROI is what you want. So if you want more leads, you want more appointments, you want more clients, put this in place. And of course, focus on the who. When you decide what you're going to do, focus on the who to get it done. Doesn't have to be you. And you can outsource it. There's all kinds of tools available today, or look at a company like ours that does fractional CMO work, plus we give you the execution team to do it and handle it. And most importantly, focus on the positive ROI. Now, imagine getting this in place. What would it mean for you? What would it do for you? How would it impact you? Imagine the freedom you'd get in a few months having a system in place that ran your business day to day to give you the clarity, the confidence, the direction, to give you a roadmap that could be used today, tomorrow, and literally for a business lifetime if you keep using it. So take action, apply what you've shared. One more time, if you want to go deeper, learn more about how we can help you in our checklist and toolkits and all the amazing things in the bundle, go to breakthrough3x.com/fast. Otherwise, that's it for today. We'll see you in another segment coming up down the right.